Alright, well, greetings everybody out there in YouTube land. Welcome to another video, and I'm out here on a blustery, windy Saturday morning in January. I'm back over here at a place in Birdsboro that I was here in April and filmed. And I'm going to be checking out the graffiti roadway, or the abandoned Route 82, or washed out Route 82, whatever you want to call it. It's over here at the Birdsboro Preserve, and I'm starting the video again here at Rustic Park, which is at the dead end of Hay Creek Road. I'm not alone today. I got some special guests with me. You might recognize that guy back there, Matt PG.
Yep, Matt PG, drop the M.
Yeah, now you're just parental guidance.
Yep, just parental guidance.
Is with me. And I got another character with me again. I got that guy, RJ78 Productions is going to be joining me. So, I figured this...
Kitty, warm kitty, little...
Hey, no rubbing off today. Anyway,
I'm the rated R version.
We're going to be exploring this area. Like I said, I was here in the spring, but I thought this would be good to bring some friends over here and film. So we're going to get started here at the park and check out a little bit of this area, a little bit of the history of this washed out roadway, and then we're going to travel to another location that's a couple miles down the road, and we're going to walk in from the gate, and that's where you're going to see the graffiti roadway again.
A private residence, no real history or anything behind it.
All right, guys, so I'm showing Matt and RJ here the beginning of the abandoned roadway. As you can see here, this was one of the bridges that was washed out from a tropical storm in 1987 that came through and caused severe torrential downpours and flooding, and what basically washed this roadway out was the ultimate demise of this roadway. There's a house over here which I haven't explored yet, but Random Outdoor Fun has explored it, and Cliff, the Wandering Woodsman, has explored it. Really isn't that much to it. It was just basically an abandoned residence, somebody that used to live there at the time when this roadway was still here yet. They're supposed to be putting a footbridge down in here somewhere sometime this year. According to the information that I found, it was supposed to happen in late 2020 or early 2021. They used to have like a makeshift cable access to go across the creek, and you can see it over there at the bottom of that tree where the wood is, where it used to be, but I guess they tore it out for safety reasons. So look forward to that bridge being built there. That way we can cross over the creek and go to this check out this house here, maybe in another video down the road. It's a little cold today to be wading through water.
Yeah,
I don't feel like it. No. All right, so here's another shot again, and if you saw my previous video from the spring, this is this little bridge for the railroad that runs by here, and this railroad again was part of the Wilmington and Northern Railroad of the Philadelphia and Reading Railroad Company before it became the Reading Railroad. This railroad used to run from Birdsboro down, or I should say Reading actually, down to Wilmington, Delaware. There was a spur that went from Elverson over to St. Peter's Village, which is going to be another video, that was used up until about the mid-1980s. Was used to get materials to take up to Bethlehem Steel. I believe the railroad came under the same demise as the road did, with the severe flooding and washing out from that tropical storm. So they pretty much abandoned it from the quarry all the way down to like Coatesville. So it's still active in Coatesville and is now owned by the East Penn Railway Company. So Haynes and Kibble House have the railroad that's here, and they now use it for their quarry, both the quarry that's here and the quarry that's behind me a couple miles away. Both of them is where Norfolk Southern gets the ballast for their railroad bed, the rock. Both these quarries are one of the major suppliers of that. But there is a date up here, if I can zoom in. Matt just checked it out, and he said that the date there on that little diamond there said 1931 on it. So, and this is just one of the many fishing holes here along the creek. Now Matt and RJ walked through that this little culvert that's here, and yes, you can stand up in it,
And then some.
and then some.
Almost.
All right, so we made it to our second destination. This is actually the backside of Route 82 or Hay Creek Road, the South Gate, I guess you want to call it. And
This is pretty much a dead-end road. There's
RJ and Matt followed me over here, and we are in the middle of nowhere.
I'm supposed to?
Don't follow me, I'm lost. But this is just gorgeous area over here to be hiking. And again, this whole area, if you Google it, is called the Birdsboro Preserve. And it's a whole hiking area. There's many trails over here, rock climbing area, which we're going to check out here in a little bit. But a little bit of graffiti here at the parking area, but the actual graffiti roadway starts just down here around the bend.
I want to get a picture of this gate. Pretty much the gold mine of nature's carpet.
Yep.
It's like 70 shags.
There you go, RJ. There you go, Jay. If you watch this video, look at all that. You would be in heaven if you saw all this here.
As far as the eye could see. Don't forget, that's trademarked by JP Video.
Yep. So I'm just showing Matt and RJ here the Hay Creek and the nice stone wall that's here. And if you guys saw my video from the spring, I think I filmed this area here too, because you're going to see once again, part of the roadway that was washed out down here. Just one of the many areas where it was washed out. All right, and Matt's standing there where part of the roadway was washed away, and I showed this in my earlier video here, but this is just one of the many reasons this roadway was never fixed and reopened. Along this, then the other area is washed out, and look down there, you're going to see another one we're coming up on. It was just going to cost too much money to fix.
They'd have to reinforce this entire side of this all the way down the stream, and that would just cost way too much money. But, so we're just...
In fact, if I zoom in here or walk down here closer, the one lane of the road is completely washed away.
Not nearly as much green as the option highway trail, but
And I filmed this in my previous video when I was here in the spring, but you guys should know what that is. The AOL guy.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not going to film too much of the graffiti highway here because there is a lot of inappropriate stuff here. But this is more spread out. I-field and the graffiti highway that's up in Centralia. There are some nice stuff here, and I'm really not that big of a fan of the graffiti, but some of it's nice, and then there's some of it that's just basically disgusting. All right, I'm showing RJ and Matt this little dam here, and I did film this in the spring when I was here. There's like this little gate that was here for whatever reason. I guess it was to let water in. It goes down this little channel here to these pump houses, which I'll show you again once we get down there. I don't know if this was used to like channel water to what I think are pump houses for like drinking water or something. I'm not quite sure. I tried looking up information on this and couldn't find anything. So if anybody knows anything that watches this video, feel free to leave it in the comments, because I'm a little curious as to what this might have been right here, because you got a concrete wall that's here. Of course, there's some graffiti on it. And then over there is the abandoned railroad bed again. And I'll take you, walk over here a little bit. There's another culvert there. We did see some bikers come up here, came up the railroad bed and went up a trail there, cross-country biking. So if you like biking, have a cross-country bike, this is an area to come and explore with it. And if you have an app for your Android phone called Trail Forks, that is a very useful resource for like following hiking trails. It's basically, it's mapped out by the users, almost like the Waze app. I'll put a link to that at the bottom of the screen there for you. I've used it a couple times already. It has this whole area mapped out, as well as the Never Sink Mountain over in Redding and the Mount Penn Mountain. All the trails along there are mapped out. Next to the Love Boat.
And get some angry birds.
That was the firm that sang that song back in the 80s called Radioactive.
Oh, I was thinking more of
No, there was a song back in the 80s called Radioactive.
I wonder if Imagine Dragons did a remake of it then.
Periodic table. Oh no, Monopoly.
Oh, Monopoly.
Do not pass go, do not collect $200.
Where's the thing for jail for RJ?
It's right here, they didn't finish it.
Oh, okay. So I didn't film that much of this in the spring, but I'm back at this underground water tank, and you can hear, I don't know if the mic's picking it up, but standing here you can hear the water running beneath us, and looks like RJ found something. Yep, there is water flowing there. So I guess my assumption that that little channel there was for pump house for the water authority was correct.
Yeah, these buildings here look relatively new. This not so much. But...
Alright, so here we are back at this old cement archway bridge of the Hay Creek, and this is one of the entrances that go into the quarry, which the borough of Birdsboro has an agreement with, because back here in this rock climbing area is where the borough police department has their gun range back there. They do their qualifying or practicing, so that's how they access it. If you look over a ways, you can see the active quarry over there. And there's the date of the bridge. I showed this in my previous video. the date of the bridge, the name of the bridge, and the county commissioners, the engineer, the inspector, and the contractor who built the bridge. All right, so here's the end of the line for the railroad that is used by the quarry. But if I can find the video, and I'm going to try and insert it after this clip, there is a video of the train crossing the bridge right here that used to go across here. I'll see if I can find that video clip and try and link it in here. And I showed you guys this in my previous video. This is still the abandoned roadway, so it would have went down and made a sharp bend to the right and crossed over the Hay Creek here. And if I walk up here, you can see where it would where the bridge would have been. But again, was washed out with the severe flooding. So the bridge would have, roadway's right over there. All right, so if you remember from my previous video, when I was exploring here, I was curious as to what this building would have been up here, because it was solid concrete, heavy steel doors on it, and they're all padlocked. RJ just pointed it out to me and it didn't even dawn on me. This is probably where they kept explosives for the quarry, the dynamite. That would explain the heavy reinforcement concrete, steel doors and everything. But I'll take you over to this building again that Matt's walking to. And looks like they did a lot of work since I was here in the spring. They cut a lot of brush down along here too. This was all overgrown here. And I think this might have been where they might have backed trucks in to load the materials from the quarry. Because the aerial photos that I saw from back in the 1940s, at least from 1946, did not show any spur coming off the railroad down there. And I showed you there previously where that bridge would have been. The railroad was close to here, but there was no spur coming in here, like if they would have backed railroad cars in here. So this had to be for like trucks or something, I'm guessing. Again, if somebody knows more info, feel free to leave it in the comments. And again, I already showed you the inside of it in my previous videos, so you know what that's so you know what the inside of that looks like already. But they did do a lot of work here, again, cutting all this brush down around here. We'll take a venture up top, see if we can peek in, see if there's anything up top there. And there's an actual shot of the quarry across the creek. No rail cars sitting there today, although if this would be during the week, this whole area over here you'd see lined with rail cars to get filled up.
Say hi, Randy.
All right, so we're going to make our way back to the rock climbing area of this, the abandoned, one of the trap rock quarries, which is abandoned. But again, I showed this in my previous video. There they have the donation there that place your donations for the bolt fund, and I guess that goes towards the loops and stuff that they put in the side of the rocks over here for you to attach your ropes on and stuff. And here's all the information for the climbing, and I guess the club that's helps out with this. But again, if you do come here rock climbing, you assume all responsibility. It's all on you if anything happens. And here we go. We're here. Even have little benches that people carved out or whatever for you to sit on. But this is, if you're a rock climber, this is the place to come. This is just neat. And it's really neat in the springtime when it's not so cold out like today.
Obviously they have rules here. Keep this place clean and enjoyable for everyone. Yeah, these
How deep that water is.
Now we're here at this overlook, and they're going to show you the sides here. If you don't like heights, don't watch this part of the video, because there is a steep drop off.
up there on the, yeah.
All right, so we did find some climbers over there, but I don't think you're allowed to climb on that side. I think it's just the side we're on here, but if I zoom in, see if I can find them, because the camera cooperates. A third of the way up there, you can see them. Looks like he's rappelling down. It's a little too cold for me to be doing that today. It's cold enough out here filming, let alone climbing rocks yet. And here's some more areas where you can climb. And I showed this in my previous video when I was here in the spring, although there's no water running this time. There's some icicles hanging over there, but when I was here in the spring, there was water running down here from the top. Or it might be out here further yet, where Matt is. So this was the actual area where the water was running over pretty good in the springtime, and it's still running here a little bit today, but more icicles than what there was in April when I was here. And if you're watching the video and you see all these, like the white areas all over these rocks, that's actually the powder that they use for when they're climbing. They put powder on their hands for a better grip. That's what all the white stuff you see all over the rock there. And now you can get an idea just how tall this is. RJ walked over there, and yeah, it just keeps going. And that is a good 80 feet, 100 feet or so.
There's a couple people over there, I think.
So there you can see RJ and Matt making their way down from the top.
That's on your right.
And they do have a cable there that we held on to coming down, so it can be a little tricky, especially with loose leaves.
Yeah. That's okay, I don't mind going slow.
So there you can see the Matt standing up there at the targets for the gun range. And somebody has a ladder set up over there that they probably do some climbing up that part too, but that is just a little too steep for me, because that is a good 120 feet to the top. I like climbing things, but not like that. I like climbing things that have stairs to them and stuff. I don't mind
I don't
heights.
even like climbing stairs.
I don't mind the heights as long as it's sturdy and
Yeah.
nah, that's a little too risky for me. All right, so we're on the bottom part again, and there you can see the area where we were. Got a sun glare there. I'll have to try this way. Back there is where we were, and then we walked along right along there. And you can see where we were at, and way up there is that ledge where I was standing at. And then there's some more areas over there where I panned down.
There's no like boreholes or eye hooks or whatever you want to call them on that side. It's only on
And then this is the other part of the quarry. I'm not quite sure how deep this is over here. Tried doing some research, looking it up, but I can't find any information on it. But it does drop off pretty quick.
it goes out maybe
From when we were up there.
Stuff growing right here, but that's right on the ledge. I want to say maybe 3-4 feet out, it just goes down.
It drops off quickly.
Shame I don't have a selfie stick. I can put the Osmo down there.
Yeah, I want to get one of those underwater drones.
Oh, that'd be cool.
They're expensive as hell though.
All right, so we're making our way back to our parking area where we parked here, and we're going to wrap things up with this video because we're all getting hungry here, so it's time to go get something to eat, and we got to warm up. So anyway, thanks for coming along. Be sure to check out Matt. That's RJ. Matt's here somewhere. Be sure to check out their channels. I'll have the links in the description at the bottom for you. There's Matt just...
You gonna edit this?
Yeah, I'm gonna edit this. Check out their videos, show your support to their channels. Hit the like button, the subscribe, the notification button, all that stuff. And again, thanks to everybody that follows me on YouTube, BitChute, Instagram, and Facebook. So until next time, let's have a ball and do it all. We'll see you soon.
I have something to add.
Ring that bell! Ring that bell!
See yous. All right, so here's some bonus footage again, and I showed this in my previous video from the spring, and I'm not going to spend too much time here again, but this is just what I call the abandoned railroad graveyard, of where there's like just railroad cars that's on somebody's property that somebody built here and laid the track. They call it the Geigertown Central Railroad, but it's just basically old rail cars that are here. It's really wasn't part of the Wilmington and Northern Railroad or anything like that. It was just from the satellite images that I found, aerial shots, this started popping up in the 70s or something like that, because it wasn't here in the 60s or 50s. So somebody that likes trains pretty much did all this. So for you rail enthusiasts out there, that's the word I'm looking for. Stop over here. Like I said, it's right on Geigertown Road in the little village of Geigertown, but be respectful of the property because this is private property. So we're filming from the road here. And you can see down there's a bunch of cabooses, and one of them does have Reading on it, so there's an old Reading line caboose down there. I think there might be one up here further too that says Reading lines on it, but I'm not sure. There we go. I knew there was a caboose here somewhere that said Reading on it. There we go. Yeah, I thought there was one on the other side, but I thought there was one close to the road here that said Reading on it. There's an old Reading rail line caboose. And then there's an old tanker car down there and just some rails. Now I remember seeing that before in videos, the road to Anthracite. Alright, that's going to wrap it up. Like I said, this is just some beef footage. And again, this was in my previous video. So, thanks for coming along. And we'll see you next time.